Hey guys, I'm back at it again. This is Purple Prince and today we're looking at the Southwest Division. This is a continuation of us previewing the upcoming NBA season. 3 previews are out and 3 more to go. So today on the plate, the Southwest Division. Let's start with the good old Memphis Grizzlies. I don't think there's any doubt that next year the Memphis Grizzlies will be the weakest team in this division. Why? Because they are in a rebuilding mode. They traded away their lone star Mike Conley to Utah Jazz. During the season they also traded the face of their franchise Marc Gasol, and they've been looking to get players on one-year deals to free up the cap in the nearest future. They have a good young player in Jaren Jackson Jr. They drafted Conley's replacement in Ja Morant, and they still have a couple of bad contracts on the books. Most notoriously, the contract of Andre Iguodala, who I'm sure just will be bought out by the trade deadline. All other Memphis players except Iguodala and Miles Plumlee were born in the 90s, so they have a pretty good young team. So when could we possibly get the Memphis Grizzlies contending for the playoffs? I think here's where the Jonas Valanciunas contract comes in. 3 years and $45 million. That's quite a bit for a Tier 2, Tier 3 center. Tyus Jones signed a 3-year contract as well. Do you see a pattern developing here? And they have some players who are in the last year of their deals as well. So the timeline we're working here with is pretty much around 3 years. This year I'm sure as hell not planning trips to the playoffs if I'm a Memphis fan. But on the positive note, there are some players whose career path you can follow. Ja Morant will have his work cut out for him. Too bad he won't have a lot of players around him who can shoot. Otherwise, he could have a really good rookie season, and actually, he still might. The Pelicans. It's so rare when a team can trade their best player, a once-in-a-lifetime type of talent, and still somehow have a great offseason and actually a better outlook for the future. That's exactly what happened with the New Orleans Pelicans. Anthony Davis didn't want to be there anymore. He was gonna leave. They fired Dell Demps, who did an atrocious job handling the Anthony Davis trade before the trade deadline. They hired a great mind as their new general manager in David Griffin. They won the draft lottery with pretty low odds. They drafted possibly the greatest player coming out of the draft since LeBron James and Zion Williamson. And they traded their ex-superstar for a boatload of young talents and picks. That's a great turnaround. Usually, the team trades their star for something in the more distant future. But here, it seems the future is now. The ticket sales should be as good as ever with Zion Williamson in town, and it's not like he's the lone player on that team. Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Derek Favors, that's a good starting 5. Add Josh Hart, JJ Redick, Etuan Moore, Jahlil Okafor, Nicolo Melli, and you have a rotation of players that possibly runs 10 deep. Before they had Anthony Davis and a bunch of some players with Drew Holiday leading that group. Now they have a great team, with at least 4 players who are capable to be all-star level players. This is one of the brightest periods in New Orleans history, and in a way, I feel better about Pelicans getting to the playoffs than the Spurs, because you can just clearly see all the talent here. When was the last time that you thought the Pelicans have a better shot of making the playoffs than the Spurs? This will be a super entertaining team to watch. As will be the Dallas Mavericks. There's one reason they will look so different this year though. They will be without Dirk Nowitzki. For 2 decades you turned on the TV to watch the 7-foot German play ball, and now he won't be there anymore. But there's another, an even taller European in town, and that's my Latvian brother Kristaps Porzingis, who was actually compared to Nowitzki before he was drafted and now will have a chance to continue what Nowitzki started in Dallas. But he won't be alone. He will be with another future superstar in Luka Doncic. Doncic had an amazing rookie season and won the Rookie of the Year award last year. This year we obviously expect even greater things from his team, as he will have a partner in crime in Kristaps. JJ Barea is still with the Mavericks, Boban Marjanovic will now be in Dallas, DeLon Wright, Maxi Kleber, Seth Curry. This team isn't as deep as the Pelicans we just talked about, but boy do they have some talent as well. I would like to see Dallas make the playoffs, but I think it will be super hard considering the competition and considering that Luka and Kristaps haven't yet played together. First, we need to see how good will Porzingis be in the long run after missing so much time because of an injury. Secondly, how effective Luka will be in his sophomore year, It's one thing to perform as a rookie, and it's a totally different thing to repeat that when everyone has analyzed your game. And thirdly, I think they're still a couple of pieces away from a team that's ready to seriously contend for the NBA championship. Let them play a year, see how it goes, and what more they need to have to accomplish that goal. You know who else might miss the playoffs? The San Antonio Spurs. Sounds crazy, right? I know, but for the first time in a while, it seems that nothing great happened over there. The Spurs have notoriously been that boring team to watch. Not a lot of highlights, just team basketball and a lot of winning. They made a big mistake though, a big mistake trading away their best shooter, my brother Davis Bertans, to the Washington Wizards. That was obviously done because they thought they got a deal with Marcus Morris in the books, but he instead went to the New York Knicks. Since then, the Spurs have acknowledged that it was a mistake, but let's see how it will reflect on the season. They re-signed Rudy Gay. He's been a good soldier, I approve the move, but nothing else really jumps off the board. I think last year there were more unknown with the Spurs because of the Kawhi trade and DeMar DeRozan coming into the town. But after a year of watching the Spurs basketball, I'm not happy. I thought that Greg Popovich would open up DeRozan's game, and in a way he did, as DeRozan averaged a career high in assists, but he still can't and won't hit threes. That's a very important part of today's game, and your best player won't even try. LaMarcus Aldridge is still there, as are some good role players like Patty Mills, DeJounte Murray, who could become the next Tony Parker, but when I look at them, I just don't see anyone who can really carry this team when needed. Except the coach. Popovich is great. Is this team good enough to get to the playoffs though? Maybe. They currently have made the playoffs 22 years in a row, and it would be a hard pill to swallow if this streak ended. But they also have been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs for the last 2 years, so it's not as out of the question as you might think. Plus, with the ever-stacked Western Conference, it will be extra difficult. We stay in Texas, and the final team in this division is the favorite to win the division and quite possibly one of the favorites to win it all. That's the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets made some small changes throughout the roster, but they made a big change when they acquired Russell Westbrook from OKC Thunder. They traded away Chris Paul, their best passer, and they reunite the friendship of Westbrook and Harden on the court. Their backcourt for next year will cost a cool $76 million. They brought in a veteran, Tyson Chandler, they brought back Ryan Anderson, who will provide some shooting, and they also re-signed a couple of contributors from last year in Austin Rivers, Gerald Green, and Daniel House. But the biggest question obviously is, how will the duo of Westbrook and Harden work? Let's first look at the acquisition and the player who left. First, Chris Paul was better in pick and roll and was a better defender. He was just a better point guard in general, because he's always been a prototypical point guard. Westbrook, on the other hand, is more athletic, younger, more durable, and obviously has a much better relationship and chemistry with the face of the team, James Harden. If Westbrook can adapt to Houston's system, I think this could be a good team, but that's a big if. Guard defense will be bad for Houston, and that might be a big problem once you meet teams with great guards. Also, a lot of people I think are overrating their chemistry on court. They always bring up the OKC days. Oh, look how good were they? No. Hold the horses, partner. Back in OKC, Harden was the 6th man of the year. He wasn't a superstar. Westbrook wasn't a superstar as well. He was that second star behind Kevin Durant. Now both of these players have won MVPs, both of them have been leading scorers, the faces of their respective teams, and now it's different. Last year, for a big portion of the season, it was a game of give Harden the ball and let other players watch. So, what it will be now? 2 players handle the ball and other players watch? Both are well-known ball hogs, and I don't care about the boosted assist numbers, they are ball hogs. Their usage rates are crazy. Will they tone it down? Can they get other people involved? Because by the playoff time, not Harden nor Westbrook can play that solo ball and win. This will be a very interesting detail to watch. Will Mike D'Antoni actually think of a system for these two and the Rockets as a whole? Or it will just be the same thing that happened last year. Get the ball, James. Shoot the ball, James. Don't pass the ball, James. Shoot the ball, James. At least for me, that makes up for an uneventful games. Sure, you can set the records, but you can't really win a championship that way, so it will be interesting to see how they play. That's about it for the Southwest Division and its teams. Hope you liked it. Who is your favorite to win the Southwest Division? Which team will warrant the hype and which will fail under the expectations? Please leave a comment below with your thoughts on this division. Also, leave a like for the video and don't forget to subscribe for future content. This will be a busy couple of weeks for this channel, so expect something to come out very soon. Thanks for the amazing support. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.